I see a lot of hate towards Andrew Tate on social media. I follow him on TikTok because I think, he's funny to listen to, and but the funny thing is, a lot of the women who complain about Andrew Tate are dating Andrew Tates. That's their list.
What's the cognitive disconnect there? That they're dating the guy that they hate on? What do you mean?
Yeah, no, it's like the guys that they're dating are like Andrew Tate. They're a little bit, rough. They're a bad boy.
They're macho.
They're macho.
Tough, yeah.
They're tough dudes. But then they hate on him. But you're dating the exact same thing. So I think for dudes, it's very hard to understand a woman because on one hand, a woman says, I want somebody that takes care of me, that is, in touch with his feminine side, does this and that and blah, blah, blah. But then it doesn't make their pussy wet at all. But a bad guy that does shit that you don't want to have, done to you, that makes their pussy wet.
Yeah.
So
it's always,
as Rollo says, shout out to Rollo again, alpha fucks, beta bucks, right?
Yeah.
Right.
It's hard.
It's female 101. If you know game, what she says doesn't mean anything. Watch what she does.
Exactly.
Watch who she bangs.
Yeah, and that's just humans in general. Where...
Y'all know I covered this so many times, man. What a woman says she wants and what she emotionally responds to are two separate things. Women vote with their feet, not with their mouth, okay? You can't listen to what a woman... If you ask a woman, she'll tell you all these things. And the fact that they do hate Andrew Tate and guys like him, but these are the exact guys. Obviously Andrew Tate saying these things, but... Women traditionally like things that aren't flattering in men, that people don't find flattering. But women are in love with these things. As she said it perfectly, which I say all the time. Doesn't get a woman's pussy wet, doesn't give her pussy a heartbeat. These guys that they describe in the movies, the politically correct answer to say, instead of saying the guy who is, has an edge or puts his hands on women, doesn't call back, doesn't text back, isn't romantic in any way, comes through and desecrates, gives her an emotional roller coaster, ups and downs and things like that, and raises his voice and is violent and all these other things that she has to wonder about, that doesn't give her reassurance. And women will try to argue you down about this, but you see her if you get into the guys that she's dated, guys that she's had kids by, guys that she's been married to, or married to, if she was married, you'll see a trend. You'll see this stuff. You'll see this, guys. It's not hard to figure out, like you said, or whatever. And I'm glad that she's saying this. And I'm glad that she's one of the women that will admit to it, which is dope. But let's get back to it.
I mean, everybody's a fucking millionaire and they're the shit or whatever. The guy drives a Volkswagen. Okay, something doesn't add up. You gotta interpret their actions. So I think a lot of guys, going back to your point, it's twofold. One, I think a lot of guys either don't have a father that should be teaching them this stuff. Confidence is
100%.
I could tell you had a good father and good family. I could just tell by meeting you.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah, and so
I had a rough relationship with my dad, but he stayed there the whole time. So
but he was there. He was present.
Yes.
Was he whooping your ass?
Yeah.
But how bad?
My dad whipped my ass.
70s, it's okay to do this.
Yes.
Or like nowadays.
No, 70s, it's okay to whip a kid's ass. Yeah.
Okay.
But it made me the man who I am, because I was like, all right, I know what. I had a very. I knew what was right and wrong at a very early age. So that made me very wise and hip to the game of I get it. My dad's got some issues, but I'm not going to, I'm going to improve. Yeah. I'm not going to be the guy that's like, my dad hated me and he kicked my ass, so I'm going to be a piece of shit now.
I'm with you on that one.
I'm going to be like, no, I'm smart enough and I get what's going on here because my dad's got some issues.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm going to use that to my advantage to say, now I'm going to become the man that I want to be.
Yeah.
Right.
Because my dad wasn't. A lot of men can't do that. They can't process issues that way.
A lot of people
So me personally, one of the regrets I've always had was that, I knew who my father was, but he didn't impute, he didn't live with us, and he didn't impute anything into me. I didn't learn any game, how to talk to women, basically the dynamic of, the polarity, all the stuff the topic of this video. I didn't learn any of that. I had to learn that the hard way in my 30s, which you can only imagine how that is. You're like, what the hell am I doing wrong? And I'm thinking that I'm supposed to treat a woman this way and she'll like me, and all it does is turn a woman off. You know what I mean? And women are like, well, I'm not like that. Yes, you are. That ladies just need to stop that. But let's get back to it though.
Going with the I was a victim.
Victim mentality.
Yeah.
Victim mentality.
100%.
Victim mentality sucks.
Yeah, you don't get anywhere with that shit.
Because you know what? You're never going to win the victim game. Because there's always going to be someone that's oh, you're black? I'm retarded. Oh, you're retarded? I'm dying of cancer.
Yeah.
Oh, you like, there's always going to be somebody worse.
Setting the bar lower and lower.
100%.
The oppression Olympics.
Exactly. Worse than the next person. It's just like, I had Ben Carson on the show today on PBD Podcast. If you're not familiar with Dr. Ben Carson.
I know Ben Carson.
He was here 3 hours ago. And you talk about someone that wouldn't play the victim card. This guy grew up poor, illiterate. His mom had no money. His mom left him. Mom illiterate. He had a crazy temper, getting in fights at school. Next thing you know, he gets his shit together. He says, I'm not going to be a victim. Yeah. He becomes a doctor. He's like, becomes the world record for disconjoining twins, Siamese twins, whatever. And he's like, I'm not going to play the victim. I'm just not going to do it. And it's just like, that's his personality.
100%. So I'm with him.
It doesn't make sense.
But going back to the guys, what I'm saying is like, I think either the father is not present or he is just like an absentee father. He doesn't teach the sons because like back in the day, they didn't need men's dating coaches. There was no space for this because the father was teaching them. There was no need
for Andrew Tate 100 years ago.
And before we get into it, women weren't the same back then either. So yeah, it wasn't needed. It was a lot easier. You know, men were men. We didn't have all this media involved. You know, we didn't have all these endless amounts of options. We didn't have the internet. We didn't have all of these outside entities. It was just the dynamic between man and woman. A man knew to be masculine, well, a man was masculine and a woman was feminine. Now it's not so much. And, you know, basically just going off what they're talking about just now. But let's get back to it.
He's not the hero we want, but he's the hero we deserve.
So I think that's very important, man. Overall, men learning this stuff, and obviously there's an abundance because of the paradigm that we find ourselves in, where there is a lack of masculinity. Women are being more like men. I don't even want to say masculine, but they're being more like men. And men are not knowing, they're going into incel mode and, you know, bitching about women and their behavior and things like that. But if you understand the thing, then you know how to react to it. And I think it's very important. There's a necessity for these dating coaches and guys to talk about masculinity and things like that. And guys know how to not get in their feelings, and they understand they have to expect certain things to happen when they're dealing with women, you know. But just be you, stay on your purpose, become the best version of yourself. And the woman that is supposed to be with you, you'll attract the right woman. Then just be bold enough to approach women. Don't sit back and just say, I'm waiting for a woman to approach me. And that's just my thoughts on it. Let me know what you guys think, though. I don't want to overtalk this. Comment below. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hit me up on Linktree to book a one-on-one with yours truly. Follow me on Instagram. Purchase all my books, merch, t-shirts. If you're looking for some advice on dating, like I said, click the link below. If you're looking to get rated by yours truly, a personal rating, hit me up on the link below. I'm doing a rating show every Thursday as well. Thirsty Thursdays. And with that being said, much blessings and abundance. Stick around for the next video that's about to pop up on the screen. This is Wisdom, and I'm going to see you guys on the next video. I'm out of here. Peace.
It's God's beat maker.
And I don't know. I haven't put a light in the sky for the G's that done turn memory from go. Blessings we send to the ghetto youth.